Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. This video is completely different from like any of my other videos, and in fact the only video I ever made like this was in the 2018 montage that I made, and you guys can check that out. Top of the description will be the link. And anyways, this is my 2,000 subscriber special, so thank you guys a ton for hitting that subscriber button, hitting that like button. All those things help me out so much. If you guys go share this around, because this is a really timely video. It took me a long time to make with a couple friends. Shout out to MANTHIS and shout out to Dirpis for helping me make this. And without further ado, guys, let's get into this video. Critical Ops Dynamic Gaming Story. It's November 4th, 2017. The start of my Critical Ops career is marked with the creation of the now called Dynamic Gaming server. However, most people will not know how the server started or even what it was called. Lil, aka Lightning Legends, was a brand new team on the tier 5 spectrum of Critical Ops pro scene. Just starting out as newbies, me, alongside Fire and Thunder, two of my closest friends who I had only met the summer before, are the three leaders. At the time, we had no clue what making a clan would bring us or the long-term effects. We couldn't calculate the countless hours of work we would have to put in, the support we would get, or the hate we would get, or even people we would meet. Nothing was certain. But, most of all, we had no clue that in just 2 short years, we would be one of the most successful teams in Critical Ops, playing alongside the other top tier and pro teams in the competitive scene. If it hadn't been for my friend and subscriber, KitKat, I may never have come to play Critical Ops competitively. I have a few Android videos of casual gameplay over 3 years ago now, which have been deleted since, but never had I planned to go into COps competitively. Despite what you might think, getting from the start to where we are now wasn't simple. It didn't come like a gift on a child's birthday. It was nowhere near the terms of easy, nowhere near that spectrum at all. The early days and first few months of Lil were filled with trouble. A struggle to find active players who would join, a struggle to win scrims versus teams that weren't even near the top. A month into the newly founded team, I wanted to give up. My school year went by that year, and Lil was off and on playing some games. Despite us being rather new, we did eventually find some players in the likes of MANTHIS, Fur, Skittles, Manu, to name a few. It wouldn't be until 2018 before Lil would enter its first tournament. By this time, we had gathered players who had some chem and had been playing together for months now. We managed to win a small tournament and earned $50 of gift cards. It looked good, but tragedy struck in the following few tournaments. As we began to play in bigger, better community tournaments such as FGL and Slaughter, we weren't winning, but we were putting up good results for tier 3 teams. We were moving up as a tier 4 team. For myself, I began putting a lot of time and effort and grinding into the game. I was still on iPhone 7 at the time, but competing versus other iPad players who had a clear advantage. Summer of 2018 came along, and I had been approached by a man named Fatal. At first, I didn't trust him. He seemed to be lying about a potential offer. He wanted to pick up our Critical Ops team to play under his org, Dynamic Gaming. It took a few days, but finally, on May 30th, 2018, alongside my admins, we made our decision. We joined Dynamic Gaming not knowing what to expect, but we were honored and proud to start our new journey under this org. The following month, the biggest COPS tourney, Alliance, was starting its annual summer season. DyG had plans to go on a run. We had a solid main 5 that at the very least had chem and a potential to beat the top tier 3 and maybe upset some tier 2 teams. Then, suddenly, tragedy struck. With little notice, our roster, which consisted of Fire, Thunder, Fur, Skittles, and myself, and with both Air and Smiley as subs, took a turn for the worst, as our best and most talented player decided to leave for a better team. Fur left for better experience and planned to rejoin us eventually. It would be over a year before that reality would actually happen. Next thing we knew, Skittles, easily our second best player, decided to leave and quit COPS. This left us with 3 main players who had struggled and 2 subs who were good prospects. We were heartbroken and leading into the biggest tourney of our lives. we weren't going to just give up. Despite all the odds stacked against us, we would need to win 4 games to make it through qualifiers. Our first match was easy, against a brand new team. A new main 5 of Fire, Thunder, Smiley, Air, and myself, LegendxJuice, won. We were now 3 matches away from glory. We all saw a chance, a light in the dark. Our next match was versus one of the best Tier 3 teams at the time, Hydra. After a long-fought battle, we succeeded and won our second match, making it halfway to our goal, and making it through the qualifiers. We had already made history, and made people rethink our potential as a team that doesn't have enough love. Although we beat a team that was very skilled and respected in our community, we won with honor and humbleness. Rather than thinking we were the best and bragging, we congratulated the other team with all respect. We were all excited and anxious to face Viral, a team that was considered Tier 2, but was shaky and beatable. Sadly, the glory and wins came to a halt, as we lost to Viral in a beatdown. We were saddened, but not broken. After all, we did play with 2 subs and without our best 2 players, and still stunned the competitive scene. Our job was successful. We became more known, and would win another tournament segment Season 1.
G freaking G.
Dynamic Gaming wins the Seminal tourney.
Now considered Tier 3, our next few months were down, and until Christmas 2018, we were just another team winning in scrims, but not in tournaments. We never had the players to win a big tournament. We would make a run and get close, but never win, sometimes coming in second place, and other times we would lose first round. Didn't matter though, all the losses felt the same, discouraging and hopeless. Despite that, we kept grinding and really made it seem possible to win. As we moved into the new year of 2019, we began slowly. I had just gotten an iPad and began popping off and really performing well. I spent countless hours in pubs and scrims, training and getting better. I began getting noticed as a good Tier 3 player who had potential. As for my team, it needed a change. The same players of Fire and Thunder were losing interest in the game and began lacking. I was determined to win though, and make DyG a top team. Fire and Thunder had also wished for this, but realized a roster change was needed. The Lions had noticed us as becoming a top Tier 3 team and a potential future Tier 2 team, decided to interview us. And so, on April 1st, 2019, they did. They pegged our newer team as potential dark horse for the next upcoming Alliance Critical Ops tournament, known as Alliance Endgame. At this time, our new roster, which consisted of the main 5 of myself, LegendxJuice, Jaggerbomb, Celeste, Smiley, and Easy, with Fire and Thunder being subs. We had a chance, but it still needed a change, as we still weren't winning with the additions of Jagger and Celeste. By the time this new Alliance season had started, I had gathered a new main 5, which I had hoped to be the start of a new DyG main 5. Magic Map, a former DyG player who had become a very good Tier 2 player, had returned to us. Coat, a young gunner with a lot of talent, had moved up to our main. Lucky, an old sub who had a lot of comp experience in Tier 1 and Tier 2 teams, had also joined us. And finally, Neil, an ex-Tier 2 player from the 2018 Summer of Alliance tournament who played for UPR, had all joined us. This was a new main, which looked like a super team in my eyes. We grinded together for a week or two, up until the final Alliance tournament qualifiers had started. Fortunately, just like the last Alliance summer season, Neil and Lucky had dropped out, seeking to play for a better team in the Alliance. We were now looking for a desperate Tier 2 player pickup, but had to return to our subs and reserves for the players. With Coat, Map, and myself in the mix, we had a small hope playing against the new Gen D to our team, but just like when we had beat Hydra last year, we won again this year. We pushed past the doubt and won. We were one game away from making it through the qualifiers, but fell short to the likes of EBK, a top Tier 2 team heavily favored. That wasn't the end of DyG, but rather the start to a brand new top 10 NA team. we had finally achieved it and made it to the top rankings. Now moving to the summer of 2019, we picked up top players and had a main that could change weekly. Players would come and go. Players such as Fur, who had finally returned to DYG, Isaac, Lucky, Map, KitKat, Little B, Neil, Seth, Midnight, and Code would all be here for some time, and all at different times. Some would then quit COPS, and others leave DYG. In our COL season 2019, we pushed through with new players to DYG, Genos and Uncultured Swine, placed in third, behind Seminal and Merc, the two Tier 1 teams, and also number 1 and number 2 teams in NA. We were now a Tier 2 team. Also, earlier in summer, we had taken down Merc and EBK in Polar A's tournament for $200. We matched up versus the best team in North America, Seminal, in the semifinal match, but were badly beaten. But again, we showed people that DYG is a real team. We can compete with the best. So let's go to present day. DYG now rests as the number 3 team in North America and 7th best worldwide. The addition of Season and Zakul to our main lineup, it came with a price. We lost longtime players Coates and newer player Frost. With Genos, Swine, Zakul, Sin, Manthis, Pretzel, and Vin all in the main lineup with myself, I believe we still have a very good team. Maybe we don't deserve to be the number 3 team in North America. Maybe we aren't Tier 2 anymore. Maybe we'll just be another Fallout team that had one good run. But I believe we are a top team, and so does all of DYG, and our loving, supportive fans. We all honor and respect the other teams in the scene. I think it's time for people to hear our story, and open up and respect us. With COPS on the brink of collapse, and COD Mobile around the corner, DYG will look to expand to new boundaries. Although there is more than I have said today about DYG, such as the history of the entire org, the history of the DYG COPS team is one for all to hear and enjoy. DYG will continue to grow and rise. Most of all, we must remember that we are DYG strong. Some people may ask us, maybe even just myself, how did we do it? How did I do it? How did I and the others stay together for so long and grind and eventually make it to the top? Well, my real secret is in the haters. I have always used the hate and discouragement as fuel. The fuel to keep going. The fuel to go up and above and grind to the top. And after all, we are just a loving community, all together in DYG. Thanks for watching this video, and from DYG to you guys watching at home, we wish you all an amazing day. We hope you enjoyed, and please be sure to like and subscribe for more. And thank you guys again for 2,000 subscribers. You guys are all amazing and in the best of my wishes and the best of my heart. I will see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing day. Peace out.